So, arrays are really handy to store info. Who has taken statistics? Who has to take statistics? Pretty much everybody, right? Well, if you took statistics in high school at least, you know, their assignments sometimes it's like, oh, you toss a coin like 10 times, right? Listen, what are the chances you get 6 heads and 4 tails or whatever, or in a row, or give you weird problems?
Slot machines. Yeah.
So let's toss a coin 10 times, and we'll see how many times we got heads. Right? Easy. So for one toss, what kind of variable will you use? What kind of variable could you use to say it's heads or tails? A bull, right? You just pick one. It's heads or it's tails, whatever. Whatever you type less. Well, actually, you type the same. So we should define first how many elements we're going to have in our array. I'm going to say I got 10 tries. Okay. And I'm going to introduce you to another concept. It's called random number generators. If you ask you, think of a number, you know, I'd say ask you a number between 1,000 or whatever. Something in the back of your head, it wasn't that random. It could be in the change you got this morning from Starbucks, right? That number, or the license plate you saw, or something. Some numbers in their subconscious that prompts a number you thought. But the computer doesn't have a subconscious. So it doesn't matter how many times you watch Terminator. So have you seen 2001 Space Odyssey? So I was flying and I was coming from Prescott, and then I was with LA Center, and you're talking to me, there's a lot of wind over the weekend, and there were some thunderstorms around. So I was dodging clouds, and all of a sudden some other plane calls me and say, "Hello, this is David. I am the owner of the plane you're flying." And he was flying for some odd reason in the same area. He asked me how the plane was behaving, and I remember that scene from 2000 Space Odyssey. I said, "Hello, David," tried to do the voice. It was interesting. Actually, it was fun. I flew to Prescott. It was maybe like 900 planes there. People put the tents over the wings and they camped there and just watched the air show. It was pretty cool. I didn't stay in the airport. I stayed in a house. Anyways, the computer does random things using time. So we know what a prime number is, right? You did your homework. And In order to know if a number was prime or not, you were doing what kind of division? You were using a modulus division, right? To see if a number was prime or not. It was divisible by another number, and your remainder was 0, then it was divisible. Exact division. So, we don't quite have, a random number generator. We have a pseudo-random number generator. And that is using the time, number of milliseconds, and when we can divide it by some number, and then we get the remainder. So we say, well, how many milliseconds are right now? And then we divide it by 7. So we get numbers from 0 to 6, right? I'll show you how we do that. In order to do that, we're going to include something else. Oops. We're going to include this library called time. And we're going to make our main here. So we're gonna use, we say heads will be true and tails will be false. So first we do our variable declaration, right? And we're gonna say we want an array of booleans. And I'm gonna call this, I don't know, tries maybe. And I'm gonna have 10 tries, right? Oops. So, when you do statistics, to do something random, we had to have a seed, we call it. And a seed is basically just a number where you want to use as your base. The computer, you can just take this. There's a function in this library called seed random. We'll set the seed, basically. And it takes a number. So if you pick a seed of a 10, you use the same seed over and over, you will get the same random numbers. Because they're normal distribution, whatever it works. I don't remember much statistics. But then I could use this other function called time and pass a parameter called null. So that you can just write that line and take it. That sets the seed. Now I have to populate. I gotta populate my array. So we saw earlier We saw earlier that if we wanted to initialize an array, to set all the elements, all we have to do is use a for loop, right? Because we're going to go through every element of the array. And use a for loop. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to end at max. And I'm going to increment by 1. So, a random number we have a 32-bit integer, so you got to 32 possibilities. We don't want that many. We just want 0 or 1. Right? 1 true or false. If you print a report in your bank statement or your phone statement, you'll see that every other line is gray and then the other one is white and they alternate, right? The way they do it is using a modulus division. So they have an if statement somewhere, and if the row number is modulus 2 equals 0, that means it's an even number. Then the background is gray, otherwise the background is white. That's how they do it. So they just use a modulus division to see if the number is even or not, even or odd. So since we only have two possibilities, right? We want to see a random true or false. But we don't have a random true or false, we have a random 0 or 1. And to know if a number is even, we use the modulus by 2. So there is this function called ran. Just like that, doesn't take any parameters. That generates a random number, pseudo-random, with the 2 to the 32 possibilities. Well, we only want two possibilities, right? 0 or 1. So basically we just want to know if the number the computer gave us is even or odd. We can just do modulus 2, right? And then we can say if this is 0, then we can say our tries I equals we can do it like this. Then we can print this populates my array. I'm going to display the array here. how do I do that? Well, same thing. I need another loop. I could call it I, or could call it something else, it doesn't matter. We call it I just because it's an index. So, I can do an if statement here. See if I try position I, then I'm gonna print f. I'm gonna print head, and I'm gonna leave a space. Otherwise, I'm gonna print tail. And maybe at the end, I'll just do a regular print F to put the new line. So this program, all it does is toss a coin 10 times and display the results. Very simple. Questions? Yeah.
I'm getting srand as undefined. Yeah.
Do you include the time age?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Is it like a statistical one? Because that and the rand is also undefined.
Alright. Yeah.
That's what it's on here, keep going.
All right.
Sure, most claims are not.
Let's see if we can make this work.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, new project, and this is, I'll call it coins. We have 175. All right, so fine. And you said S. Oh, the round is not there. Interesting. Maybe to this library. Oh, I'm sorry, it's in the standard library. You gotta add the standard library too. So, we have our sections, our variable, and we have Boolean, we have tries, and then we have 10 of those. Right? We don't quite have a user input, but we still generate the array. So we said we have a for loop. Bless you. Oh wait, I forgot, we gotta do the, here. Forgot that. Set seed. And I think I had it, if we're gonna do it this way for now, and then I'll show you a shortcut. And then let's just print out. We can have number of heads at 0. And we can say if he tries I, then we print head and increase the number of heads. Otherwise, we'll just print tails. And we can just simply say alright. Well, very simple. So let's run this, see if it works. Hopefully it will. So there were 6 heads. Head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 3, 4, 5, 6 heads. So if I run this again, I still get 6 heads, but they were different. They were in different order. Let's make this bigger. So let's do try 1 here. Let me put it in Notepad just so I remember. What happened? Oops. Come on. So that's my first try. If I run this again, I got less. I mean, you might get different results.
There we go.
Let's see. I just run it one more time. And this is 5 times. Or 5 hits. So, yes,
Is there a, it's not random?
It is random.
It's random.
they're not the same. So, what kind of statistics can you pull? Well, what is the median? The point in the middle, right? So this one you got 2. This one will be the same. So, did I tell you when the lotto was like 700 million or something? You can go to the state's website and pull the last 500 drawings or something. So I did that, download them, put them in Excel, and it's impossible to predict what's the winning number. But the Powerball is the easy part, because there are less. You don't have to worry about the position. And I came up with 3 numbers. 17, 19, and I don't know what was the other. So 17 was my number 1 pick, and so I went and spent $60, 20 of each, in my top 3 picks for the Powerball. And my number 1 Powerball hit. And I was excited. I made, of the $20 in the Powerball, I won like 35. But unfortunately, I spent $40 in the other 2 that didn't hit. But you can do all kinds of statistics using an array. Now, I'm going to put this in a separate function so you can use it later. And I want to show you, we're going to do a random, but instead of true or false, we're going to put some numbers. Okay? And this time, I'm going to rename this to coins. So I renamed that coins. I'm going to make a prototype here. And I'm going to now use my main again. Make a different main. So I conserve, or I'm going to put this on blackboard so you can see it. This time, we're going to put this in blackboard because we're going to keep using this file. I'm not going to use 10, I'm going to use 16 this time. So that's my array size, 16. I'm gonna rename this instead of max, I'm gonna call it array size. So I should rename this to array size. And I'm gonna define another one, call it max number. So my array is gonna have elements from 0 to 1,000. I want you to look at this. So I'm gonna make an array of int. Call it student IDs. And I have 16 of it. Well, let's say, does anybody have student ID 1? 0? All right. So you pick a seed, you pick a number you start with, whatever number you want it to be. So let's pick 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the base student ID number. So I'm going to define another one. So the reason I'm doing this is because a random number generator is going to give you from 0 up to the number you want. But we can have a student ID 0, so if I get 0, I'm just going to add the base. Let me show you what I mean. Of course, I need to set my C again because it's in the other. And now I'm going to generate I'm just going to do it like this for now, and then I'll add the base later. I'll make another method. This method is going to print the array. All it's going to do is do this. Print F for an array. And then for int I equals 0 to I less than the array size, increase I. And then print that element of the array. Alright. See what happens. So I came up with random numbers, right? And there's not really a duplicate, although we could have a duplicate. But hopefully between 0 and 1,000 in 16 tries, we won't get one. So if we run this again, we get different numbers, right?
Yep, I think it's place.
No, interesting.
Yeah, and they're next to each other.
So if you really, really don't want to get the reason is the max number is not prime. Well, we can talk about math in the next class. What I wanted to show you is this. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was going to add the student ID later, right? So I could say base ID. So my student IDs are larger. But then they don't quite fit well in my screen, huh? We'll just take them out for now. Alright, so I have an array, 16 elements, and they are not sorted, right? Because they're not sorted, it means if I want to find a number, it will take me, on average, 8 tries, right? Assuming the number is there. But what if the number is not there? I mean, I got 1,000 possibilities, I only have 16 elements. Chances the numbers are not there, right? So searching becomes really problematic. So what if I sorted my array? If my array were sorted, then if I have 16 possibilities, how many tries do I need at the most? Anybody? If I have 16 possibilities, 16 elements, and and my array is sorted, how many? 4, right? To the 4 is 16. So if I use 4 tries and the number is not, I haven't found the number, guess what? It's not there. Simply not there, right? So if I have 1,000, gosh, it will be very cumbersome if it was, if the array was unsorted. So, what I'm going to show you is how to sort an array. And an array, oh wait, I need to write down the numbers. So to wait until power's down and then turn it on. So, I want to show you two things. The first thing is, I generated the numbers, but in order to make my example work, I need those numbers to be the same. Oh, come on. I guess I have to edit this part. Do you guys watch the videos?
I did this morning.
Oh, you know.
Well, I use it for the other classes too, but... Oh man, this is taking forever.
Yeah, exactly.
How long does it take for the berry? So it doesn't look like we have, looking at the result, it doesn't look like we had duplicate numbers, right? So, let me copy the numbers we got here. Without the quarter, without the brackets. Those are the numbers we got there, right? So, in here, we populated this portion, we populated the array randomly, right? I'm gonna comment this out for a second. And I'm gonna declare again student IDs. But this time I'm not gonna put a size. And I'm gonna do this. Those are the numbers we got. I'm gonna separate them by comma. So, let's put this one in here. Notice I am able to initialize an array by just putting the elements. But I can do that only at the time I declare the variable. So I say, okay, I need an array and these are the values of the array, so I have all the values beforehand. So if I run this, the array prints, just like it was before. The only reason I put the numbers are coded so I can use them as the example. So, what we're going to do is sort those numbers. And we're going to make a separate function. And we got to revisit the concept of passing by value or passing by reference. If you look at the method we wrote below called print array, we pass an array, right? Guess what happens if I do this? I don't pass an array, I pass a pointer. Will that work?
Pointing to an array.
Works, right? Because When you declare an array, you're declaring a pointer. But instead of pointing to one int, you're pointing to 16 ints. What happens if I do this? Oh, look at that. Why do you think it happened? I went over the size of my array, right? See what happens here. I'm just accessing random values. The reason it didn't crash, well, it should give me an error, an index out of bounds. But C is not that smart. C++ will. So what's happening is the computer gave me, I don't know, 1 megabyte, 10 megabytes of RAM for me to use in the program. I haven't exceeded that amount they gave me at the beginning. So it's just thinking, here, we can print whatever's in that memory address. I can't do anything with that, but that's what's in the RAM. What if so these ones are got a 1 and got a 0, it probably were true or false before. What if start at -10? See what happens. Same thing. If I exceed the boundaries of the RAM that the operating system gave it to my program, then I will get this message called memory access violation. Meaning I'm trying to read a RAM allocated to a different program. So let's take 10 minutes and I'll show you how to sort the array.